So that in our innermost souls, there can be a big inscription. When St. Paul, at the end of his life, he says, it is no longer I that live, but Christ lives in me. It is it is I who must activate Christ in me. And so, our dear young people, we are here to ask JC, in the very many encounters, to give us, to empower us to become Him wherever we are. Thank God, we have some images of people, like a mirror. When you look at the moon, where does the light come from? When you look at the moonlight, where does the sun come from? It comes from the sun, right? It's a reflection. But the moon is wonderful and beautiful. In fact, many people sing to the moon. All kinds of romantic songs. Under the moonlight, wonderful moonlight, twilight, the beauty of the moon. All kinds of poems have been written about the moon. Because the moon is really, really beautiful. But what makes it beautiful? The sun. The sun. And that's what happens also with us. The sun is like God. Jesus Christ. He shines, but at times it might be too bright for us to look at it. And at times we are not able to see the power of the sun because it's too bright. So, how many of you have watched an eclipse? Eclipse. Hello, jameni. Unaishi wapi? Hakuna mtu ameshawahi kuona eclipse? Solar eclipse. Guy. Inua mkono kama umeona eclipse. Ni watu wanaangalia nini? Inua mkono. Eclipse. Mkono juu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Guy. 7. Ni watu wanaangalia nini? There are several eclipses. Okay, I forgive you for that one. Eclipse, in the solar eclipse, or the eclipse of the sun, you are given special glasses or a special filter to look at the sun. Because it's a moon that comes in front of the sun and blocks the sun. It can either be total or partial. And when it comes in front of the sun, you can't see the sun anymore. Neither can you see the moon. Eclipse. You must wear special glasses. So the sun can be so strong that we are unable to look at it and see the little spots. They tell us in the sun there are small spots. In the sun, like small fires. But you can't see it. It's too powerful. But in order to admire the beauty of sunlight, it is very beautiful to look at its reflection on the moon. It is still the sun shining. And in our spiritual life, what does that mean? It means, like St. Paul says, be imitators of me as I am of Christ. Be imitators of me as I am of Christ. And so, we are asked to Hello? Hello? Imba basi moja, hii kitu imeng'ara. Muheria. Nini kama nini? Wewe umenizima. Wewe umenizima jamani. Huyo ndiye amenizima. Apigiwe kwa moja. Arushinda. Usinizime tena. Be imitators of Christ. Be imitators of me as I am of Christ. Hello? Hello. Are you with me, guys? Yeah. Don't hang up on me. Are you there? Yeah. Be imitators of me as I am of Christ. So, this mystery of the moon is what we are here also to celebrate. It is the great saints who imitate. Where are the buddies? Wako translation. Wako area. Wako wengi. They've done the split. Aha, why is my camera? Hey, computer guy, umefanya mzuri. Haya. Na usidanganye. So, I'm marking him because I can see him there. Be imitators of me as I am. Hello? Hello? You are getting distracted. Be imitators of me as I am of Christ. And I say, yes. That's what we are looking for. And so the saints, what are the saints? The first mystery of the moon is called Mary, the Mother of God. Her beauty, her holiness, her purity, her goodness shines forth, and you can see Jesus, the reflection of holiness in her, because she's like Jesus. Actually, Jesus looked like Mary because he was her son. And so her facial features are like Mary. Jesus had a nose like Mary's. Jesus had eyes like Mary. Jesus had ears like Mary. Because she was born of Mary. Hello? Hello? That's how it was. So when you look at Mary, actually you can see Jesus. The face of Jesus. But that is not all. She was like Jesus in the soul. Because she was filled with the Holy Spirit. Because she was God's predilected. And because she was so identified with what Jesus was doing to die, to give life, that she had given up her life to give up life of Jesus. Munanifuata? No morano mirira. Adwa Othaya, no moraigua. Adwa Teto, no moraigua. I'm just calling out names. Don't worry. See it that you got a sheet I'm just trying to get you engaged. So our Mother Mary was the first mystery of the moon. In Latin, because today we'll learn a few things, it's called Mysterium Lunae. The mystery of the moon. Mysterium Lunae. Hello? Hello? As in? Mysterium. Lunae. Otherwise translated in English, the mystery of the moon. That is the mystery of God's mystery hidden in the moon. But there are other saints, and so that is why the church gives us the saints to imitate. What's your name? Ask your neighbor, what's your name? What's your baptism name? Let her, it's okay. My name is Muheria. But I think my baptism name also has a big significance. My baptism name is Anthony. Which is your baptism name? Bakita, Mary, and Marite, Victoria. All those are mysterium lunae. Why do we care? Why do we carry the names of saints? Because we are meant to imitate that saint. Because we are meant to imitate those who are called faith or hope or joy or purity. We are meant to enjoy and see that one ray of goodness, one virtue, one goodness that you should imitate. What's your name? Mine is Anthony. Anthony of Padua. A saint who was a Franciscan. A saint who was a great preacher. A saint who had not gone to his church. His tongue is still intact. 5 years down, 500 years after his death, his tongue is still intact. It's a relic. He's a man who cared. He's a man who preached. He's a man who gave his life to God. And I love him. What about you? So today I want to speak about this mystery of the lunar, the mystery of the moon, in two aspects. One is obvious, the second will not be obvious. I want to speak to you about heroes. I want to speak to you about mentors. People who push you to do good by their example. We admire above all things, and they become our point of reference. My first is Pope St. John Paul II. He is especially my mentor, my hero, the one I look up to, the one who have tried to learn so many things about him. Pope John Paul I, the second, was an amazing man. One, he worked in a quarry with his hands during the persecution in Poland. Alienda quarry, kazi ya quarry, kuguna mahiga for several years. And that also dignifies those things that we unfortunately look down. The menial works. I'm going to make an incision. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you something about myself. When I was perhaps a bit your age or a bit older, I was in university. I went to study in the University of Nairobi, and I was studying civil engineering. On Saturdays, we used to do volunteer work. And that is the first time I ever knew what poverty is. We used to go to Kariobangi, Sokomjinga. There's a slum, the first slum, which is the Nakuru slum. It's the first time I saw slums. The first time I saw a slum. A slum that is made of cartons. A huge slum without a single toilet. I saw poor children. There was a dam, and there is still a dam. They were dumping rubbish. I saw children going to pick up that rubbish. We went to visit there to try and teach these young ones two things. We tried to teach them a bit of math, mathematics, and also a bit of catechism. Kids who were 8, 9, but already deep, hardened. The same time, no. One of the biggest brothels, I will not explain what a brothel is because you know, was near this Mukuru slum that was frequented by all kinds of people, the product of which there are many kids there who are mixed race. Wahindi, Nusu, Wazungu, Nusu. It was beautiful. We also used to spend some time to visit another area, which is Huruma, that is next to the Muheria slum. But we didn't go to the Muheria slum. We went to Huruma, where the sisters of charity, Mother Teresa, Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta, used to serve those poor people, and especially the old abandoned men, old abandoned children, and the little abandoned babies. Many of those babies that have been abandoned were babies with great deformities. Head deformity, body deformity. They wouldn't live beyond 3 years, they would die. But those good sisters would dress those babies so beautifully. But you see, those babies don't have a clue. They don't have a future really humanly. I saw babies with the brain out. I was shocked. I wasn't thinking about becoming a priest. I was just carrying out volunteer work. And this is where I wanted to get to. I didn't want to tell you about that too much, but I spoke about it. We used to go, a number of us, and the others were given the work because they looked to be more spiritual, better prepared. They were told, now you shave the Mzee, now you cut his nails. As you cut his nails, speak to him. Now you wash him. Of course, I think they were better than I. And the good sister who was there called me and told me, oh, come to the kitchen. So I was taken to the kitchen. And there used to be some Indians who used to bring. We used to give this home. One big cow, Mombe. And so my work was, I was given a big knife. And I was told, your work is to cut that meat. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm confessing to you that besides being a bishop, I am an accomplished butcher. When I was studying in Rome, I went to study for my priesthood. I won't tell you all my story, but I'm telling you this. On the first year after I reached there, I started doing twice a week, 3 times a week, 3 afternoons a week. I was doing mechanics. I used to be the one who changes oil and does the engines of the lawnmowers at the beginning and the bigger engines that I used in that seminary I was. So every day you'd find me full of oil. Ikitoanisha engine na gearbox na vitu. So hello. I am also a well-accomplished mechanic. So when I'm saying I admire John Paul II, it's because I also admire the good that working with our hands, and especially those things that sometimes we despise, how in helping us appreciate what God gives us here, what God gives us here. St. John Paul II was never ashamed of menial works. Unfortunately, we young people nowadays feel a bit ashamed about doing menial work. Hizi motorbike unaanza huku, hizi motorbike naweza zitoanisha na kuzirudishanisha. Because that is what I was doing. The engine of a lawnmower is basically an engine of a motorbike, more or less. Very little difference. John Paul II did not let those earthly things impede him from reaching very high spiritually. John Paul II found in work the meaning and God's presence. Kazi hilo unafanya inakuongoza kwa Mungu na sio inakuondoa kwa Mungu. The ethics of work. John Paul II wrote. But I have other things that make me admire John Paul II. John Paul II loved the young people. And that is part of the joy of the love I feel for you people. This, oops. What have I done? Saidia maskini. What have I done to it? Niambie ninafanya nini? This man is going to it. I've worn this green bag for 4 years now. This year, this green bag, which is hope, young people, it is a poverty band, but it's really a support for the youth. This reminds me every day that I must remember you, young people. I must pray for you. I must give you hope. I must challenge you. I must accompany you. And that this reminds me that I must make time for you. That's what John Paul II did. He spent time with the youth. He went camping with them. He gave hope to the youth. He told the youth, you are the power of the world. And just now, juzi tulikuwa na World Youth Day. 1.5 million youth gathered in Lisbon. Who started that? Hello, who started it? John Paul II. John Paul II. St. John Paul II. And so I would like that spirit to be alive with you. When I see so many of you, na huko nyuma, sijui kama mmejaa semeni yes. Kama mmejaa semeni ndio. Hello. Kama mnatufuata semeni kuwa kadhoni poa. Hello. Watu wa nje kuwa kadhoni aje. Hatusikii. Kuwa kadhoni aje. Hatusikii huku ndani. Kuwa kadhoni aje. Huku ndani. Kuwa kadhoni aje. Kuwa kadhoni aje. Kama unanifuata huko nyuma, kama unanifuata huko, kama unanifuata huko nje. John Paul II. That's where we were, right? I'll tell you a few secrets about St. John Paul II. Besides that, St. John Paul II loved the Eucharist. Akitoka kwa ofisi, anapitia kwa chapo, anapiga magoti, akazungumza na Kristo. Anazungumza na Kristo. Akitoka huko anaenda kula. Akitoka kula, anaenda kwa Kristo. Anazungumza na Kristo. The Eucharist. Akitoka huko, anaenda kazi. Akimaliza, anarudi kwa. What a great example of the love of the Eucharist. And today Othaya. This beloved Othaya, vile wanarika wanampenda Jesse katika Kristo. Ati wanarika wanampenda Jesse. Wanampenda Jesse. Kikiroho. Acha. Wanarika wanampenda Jesse. Na tunamtembea naye leo. We are going to tell them where our strength is. Mira, nilikuwa nimeshika naangalia kule, naona ni kama pande hii the Eucharist. John Paul II was the Pope for the Eucharist. He celebrated Mass, he cared for his people, he was pastoral, he celebrated Mass when the government refused that Mass be celebrated in Poland on Christmas Day. He cried, pushed for the people of his parish to get a church. And he celebrated Mass on Christmas Day at minus 15 degrees centigrade. Minus 15 degrees centigrade. Outside in the open, because the government could not give him a church to celebrate. And when it is only 15, wanavuta blanketi. Wanarika nasema, today God will understand. JP2, the same for the young people who are courageous to break what their bodies tell them. Knowing at your age, there's a conversation going on between your heart and your body. Na hiyo body mara nyingi inafanya opposition. Hiyo body iko na shida. Inafanya opposition kwa serikali ya roho. Just, why don't you serve the why don't you wake up and help? Hiyo body inasema sitoki hapo. Today we are going to let the body be vivified by the soul. Jesus in me. He lives in me. He vivifies me. So even though I don't feel, I will do. I will get up. I will help. I will pray. I will study. I will do good. I will not stand. Example of JP2. John Paul II. Nimeelewa vile inafanya. Iko na kadude hapa na sukuma mbaya. Pole. JP2 was a saint who was not ashamed to show his weakness. Msiogope kuonekana hamjui kufanya kitu. Usiogope kuonekana kwanza kwamba wewe ni mfupi. Usiogope kuonekana kijana kwamba huna muscles kama wengine. Usiogope kuonyesha kwamba hujui kudance. You are dancing out of rhythm and out of shape. Usiogope kusema you are not the top of your class. Hello. Na usiogope kusema you are home, your parents don't have a car. They don't even have a motorbike. I want a bicycle. There's nothing wrong. Don't fear. Why do we pretend? Unaona watu wana Photoshop. Tulikuwa Mombasa. Hadi mnaishi sijui wapi, nyumba ya ghorofa. Na kwa nini ungekuwa na ghorofa? Tika kwa nini si area kwa ghorofa? Okay, kila Photoshop. Because you are fearing There are those who fear to say they are sick. Like being sick is wrong. Or like mimi shishikangi chemistry. Chemistry mwaka huu kwanza nyinyi mko secondary school. Acheni hiyo maneno. Chemistry mnapita. Hamwache kuniambia mambo mbaya. Mnapita. Na lazima mpite hiyo kitu. Mwache kuniambia chemistry hii. Hata zimekatana ama nini? So, anyway, people, you have to own up and say, I don't understand this thing. I need someone to help me. People are forgetting to ask for help. Young people are struggling. Mimi, I'm going to go mad. Why? Nyumbani kwetu tumezozana. Mzee, mama, kimeumana. I'm not going back. Mimi, I've lost hope. Me, my problem is, mimi nimeshikwa na kitu inaitwa nini? Jamba. Mimi nimeshikwa na whatever it is, umeshikwa, umenaswa, umefugwa, umeangushwa. Umesikia yote? But you don't say. You just stick. And suddenly we hear, so-and-so took her life. So-and-so took his life. Why? Because you are fearing to say your weakness. You are fearing to say the problems you have. You are fearing to say you despair because you are getting zero. In Kitui, there is a very short man. His name is Benedict. Pastor. We had an anniversary in St. Joseph Seminary School, secondary school. And all the big wigs were called to the Harambe. And after doing all the Harambe, one of the guys came to speak. His name was Benedict. So he came and said, I was in this school, he said the year he was. And in my class, I was the last. Translated. I got to know my subject, E. But when I was here, I learned one thing. I learned to be upright. I learned to follow God. And I learned that God has a plan for me. I never lost hope. And I'm very grateful. But unfortunately, I never come back. Since the time I left, I never came back. So I'm back. And I'm back with a bang. And I'm come to say thank you. Because when I left here, I couldn't get employment. I won't go through. So I was employed in a small hotel. Small local hotel. You know hotels? See, there's a written hill trolley. Those ones. The ones where you have mixed githeri vikingo na shafashi chafua. Unajua hizo hoteli. Yes. He was employed in a super local place. His job was to peel potatoes. He wasn't cooking, he was peeling. And he was cleaning the pit. So he worked very well for a bit of time. Then he got promoted to go and work into another better. Peeling potatoes, it was specific potatoes. Eventually akaanza sasa kuulizwa afanye kitu kidogo pale, bidwe ingine. So he started learning. And he said, yeah, I like this thing. So at that time, it's a long time ago, Othaya College had just opened in Nairobi. And it was taken was taking standard 8 leavers for certificate. So with his standard 8 certificate, not his he was accepted to Othaya. He studied for the first certificate, he passed, he worked with Othaya, he qualified for the next level, and he was employed in a small hotel. Eventually he was employed, story goes on, he eventually got employed in the kitchen of Norfolk Hotel. When he was in Norfolk, he was spotted by some of these Japanese. He was offered a job in Japan. In Japan, he was promoted and became the chief chef of one of the small hotels. He was then promoted to be the chief chef of one of the cutting-edge 5-star hotels in Japan. He was then put from Japan, he went to Switzerland. From Switzerland, he went to Canada. From Canada, he was poached, he was taken to Serengeti as chef. From Serengeti, he was brought to Intercontinental, as chief chef. And finally, as he was speaking, he was the highest ranking chef in Kenya. You forgot he got an E, and you are still clapping. And you are still clapping. You think it's worth clapping? Then clap. So this man said, and I'm here to give thanks for the only key I got to life, which was a key of virtues and values. And for this, I'm giving my contribution of $500. Whoa! Can you imagine? The man who was the last, Muheria. We fear to say our difficulties. This man did not fear, was advised, and went, became a chief chef. The best quality became the star for the others. John Paul II, old man, sick man, but still appearing, unable to speak, but still coming to be with the young. So that you never fear to be disabled, without a leg, unable to walk. He would come in public with his lip drooping with saliva, because he was sick. And that didn't make him anyway feel ashamed. He still spoke to us. That makes you confident. It doesn't matter how you are. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your lack of qualification or your qualification. It doesn't matter which house you come from. It doesn't matter whether you have cows or you don't have cows. It doesn't matter whether you sleep on a mattress or not. You're still a beloved and precious daughter of God. Because JC is in you. JP2. Great saint. My hero. First hero. My second hero is rather unexpected. I'll speak very little about her. My second hero is my mother. And I say it now because we buried her 2 months ago. But a woman of faith. A woman who has taught me what it means to care for others. When you yourself are suffering. She made me understand even my priesthood better when I spoke to her about her illness. She has been ill for almost 30 years. But the last 6 or 7 years were particularly serious. She has had 4 strokes. She has been to ICU 15 times. She had her leg amputated, but she didn't give up. She learned to walk again. She got a prosthesis and learned to walk again. And every time she would go to the ICU, she would say, "What is this? Why does God allow this? What does He want of me?" She never complained. In one other occasion, ICU. I went to see her. At that same time, a relative of ours, our relative, was also in the ICU. So when I entered the room of my mom, she told me, Bishop, have you gone to see so-and-so? She's waiting for you in the next room. Please go pray for her before you come. She was in ICU. She was very sick. And she didn't want the prayers passed for her. She wanted the prayers passed for the other. She wanted me to go and console and pray and encourage before I could come. This is what our heroes teach us. Now we must be ready to complicate our life for others before we get it. My dear young people, I have learned this lesson in my not so young age from my mother. Because she is the cause of my becoming a priest. I will never have become a priest if she didn't ask God to become a priest. That God, she prayed that God may give her a priest son. And when I was born, she said, this guy here, this fellow, I think this should be the guy. But this fellow here didn't want to become a priest. But God still kept the prayer and answered it. So I owe her my vocation. And she never let go of me in her prayer and her challenge and her teaching, even when she was about to go to the Lord at 89 years. She is my hero. She is, for me, also the mystery of the moon. Because in her suffering, she made us see chasing, shining what has gone away. Young girl, young guy, young man. Look at what is your image of Mysterium Lunae, young guy. You young man, you young girl, you young lady. Maybe God, maybe some of the people will never see another reflection of God but you. Maybe when you speak about Catholic, they don't know what Catholic is. They know you. You are Catholic. Christianity, they don't know what Christianity is. They know Christian, you. Is there anything shining in you? That is a mystery of the land, of the moon. And do you at least look at the mystery of the moon in your name, in the person whose name you bear, the saint? My challenge to you today, find a mentor. Find a saint you love, who you can say, this is going to be my saint who intercedes for me. It's going to be the saint who I'll try to imitate. This saint, tutangengana, hata nikianguka nitashika tu hivi. Itanionyesha vile nitatoka kwa macho. And don't look for only saints. Look for even human beings. People who are still living, are not canonized, good Catholics. You can look up and say, yeah, this is a mentor. I would like to follow what they try to. And try to imitate a little bit of their good points. Be imitators of me as I am of Christ. Try, I challenge you, also to be a little bit of that shining face of what Catholicity and Catholic youth. Yani mwanarika mkato anang'ara namna gani? That is my challenge. JC. The rays of JC must come from JC. 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 going to shine in Othaya today, but must first shine in your heart. And we follow through in the homily of today's Mass. Ni watu vumilieni kwa chini. Uko nje? Kuwa katoni aje? Kuwa katoni aje? You guys feel like, I think that's the scripture. Kuwa katoni aje? Aya, kuwa katoni aje? Kuwa katoni aje? Nataka hii mabati yalipuka. Kuwa katoni aje? My guys, yani tamaa. Kuwa katoni aje? Now speaking with the guys, yani please. Nyinyi girls, nyamazeni kwanza. Kwanza huku ndani, kuwa katoni aje? Wacha irume tena. Kuwa katoni aje? Huko nje tunasema vijana wavulana, kuwa katoni aje? Na mazeni nini tunasikia huko nje. Haya, magais, kuwa katoni aje? Warembo, kuwa katoni aje? Na huko nje, kuwa katoni aje warembo? I think, tell your friend next to you, you must find a mentor. Mwambie tu, naweza mwambie na roho yake confession. And then to finish, just tell him, sawa sawa. I think we are done with this, so that we go to the Mass now. But in this time, as we prepare, just find out how much Jesus is shining in your life.